How you guys doing today? This is Derek House with dhftns.com, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make some no-bake protein peanut butter balls. Now this recipe is really quick and only takes about 20 minutes from start to finish, so let's get to it. The first thing you're going to need to take out is a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, I post a link in the description below to mine. It's only around $25 and a great investment for your kitchen. The first thing we're going to do is process some prunes together. So take 1 cup or 160 grams of pitted prunes and put them into your processor. If you don't like prunes, I promise you, you can't taste them at all in this recipe. Almost all grocery stores will sell pitted prunes. I think it's around $3 for a big container like this. All you're going to do now is process your prunes until it looks like a paste-like consistency, or sometimes a ball will form. So just go ahead and process them together now. And this time we got a ball. Now we're going to add the rest of our ingredients in. 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 cup or 20 grams of rolled oats, 1/4 cup or 28 grams of walnuts. If you don't like walnuts, you don't have to use walnuts. You can use almonds, cashews, or any other type of nut you may prefer. 1 box of seedless raisins, which is 1 ounce or 28 grams. 2 scoops or around 60 grams of protein powder. Personally, in this recipe, I prefer either using a vanilla or, like I'm using today, chocolate flavored protein powder. 10 to 15 drops of liquid sweetener. This is optional, you don't have to add this, or if you don't like liquid sweetener, you could add 1/2 tablespoon of pure honey. 2 tablespoons or 13 grams of flaxseed. Flaxseed is a great source of healthy fats and fiber. 2 tablespoons or 10 grams of cocoa powder. A lot of people think cocoa powder has sugar in it. It actually has no sugar and 2 grams of fiber per tablespoon. The last thing we're going to do before we process our ingredients together is melt some peanut butter. As for how much peanut butter we're using is 8 tablespoons, around 128 grams or 1/2 cup of natural peanut butter. However you want to melt your peanut butter is up to you. I'm doing it in the microwave, so I put my peanut butter in a microwavable safe glass. Usually around 45 seconds to a minute works for me. Now take your melted peanut butter and put it into your mix. And process it all together. After around 20 seconds or so of processing it, you're going to add in 2 to 4 ounces of warm water. And just continue processing it. By the time you're done, it should look something like that. The last thing you're going to do, which is optional, is take out some unsweetened shredded coconut and put it into a dish that you can roll your balls around in. And then take out a baking sheet, a dish, or anything big enough to put all of your balls onto, and then put it into the freezer. So now just take a spoon, dig into your mix, and roll your protein balls into about that size. And finally, take your protein balls and roll them into the coconut. So they end up looking like that. You probably noticed that every 2 or 3 balls that I made, I walked away from the camera. That was just to keep wetting my hands. If your hands are moist, the mix is a lot easier to play with. It won't stick as much and the balls are a lot easier to form. So that is what your protein balls should look like before going into the freezer. So now just take your protein balls and we're going to put them into the freezer for around 2 to 4 hours. As for the calories in the whole recipe, there's 2,033, 97 grams of fat, 192 grams of carbs, 35 grams of fiber, and 98 grams of protein. And there are your protein peanut butter balls. So after around a couple hours in the freezer, the balls are done. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and try one of my balls for you guys. Probably should have called this recipe something else. I can't even begin to explain how much flavor these balls have. For only having 92 calories, they're extremely filling as well. Really chewy. It's almost like a candy bar rolled up into a mini ball. Absolutely delicious. Really chocolatey too. Can't even taste the prunes. So after you freeze these once, you don't need to freeze them again. You can just throw them back in the fridge. As for leaving them out, I wouldn't leave them out for an extended period of time. They will tend to get too sticky, so I like to leave them in the fridge or put them back in the freezer. It's up to you. Alright guys, I just want to thank you for watching my protein peanut butter balls recipe. If you liked my balls, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. It motivates me to keep making these. If you aren't already subscribed and you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking right there on the screen coming up. And by subscribing, you'll get an email every week telling you I uploaded a new video. Comments or suggestions go down below. I do try and respond to everybody. Alright guys, I got some balls to eat. Stay healthy.